Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video,
The biggest red flag they make? Men who want to move into your home, ladies. Okay, save this video because I'm going to walk you through some legal steps that I didn't take that I wish I would have and I will in the future. For context, I'm 57 years old and I've been a homeowner since my mid-20s. I've also been a landlord, so I'm very familiar with lease agreements. When a man I was dating asked to move into my home, I was blinded by love. I did ask him to sign a lease agreement. He wasn't interested in that. I let it go. Big mistake on my part. What I discovered is what every landlord knows who doesn't get a lease agreement signed. And that is, you may not get any payment at all. It's as though they have a free roof over their head at your expense. A couple of months after he moved in, this guy told me, he's like, I came up with a plan, a payment plan. Well, guess what? It didn't vibe with the $600 or $700 a month that I wanted to collect from him. Even if I had charged him $1,000 a month, that would have still been a bargain. And then when the relationship started to fade, because I didn't have a written agreement in place, getting him out of my home became complicated. Now, I'm not suggesting that a signed agreement solves all of the issues, but it would have given me some sort of legal ground to stand on. Oh, I got him out of my house by financially helping him get an apartment and signing over a used car I had bought to him.
Yeah, after she posted this video, she came back with another video because the comment section, take a look.
I can't believe how many women are selling their homes to get rid of their boyfriends. A video I made a week ago is peppered with comments like this. In my video, I said, look, I regretted not getting a lease agreement from a man who I allowed to move into my home. I call it sudden onset memory loss, when they totally space that rent is due every month. One woman said she sold the house and he was still on the couch when it was moving day. Another said she paid him to get out. Michelle said he suddenly wanted to take out an insurance policy on her and asked this not so subtle question about what it would happen to her home in the event of her death. I like this solution. Just tell him you're going to get another place together. But the best idea is that he move in there first and then change the locks and break up with him. It can sound like a really romantic idea to move in together until, ladies, you end up carrying the financial load. Please save this video. Go back and watch the other video I posted and spend time reading through the comments. Don't repeat our mistakes.
Yeah, 2024. It's sad but true. A lot of women are having to sell their houses to get rid of the homosexuals. Okay? Because they're not going to go anywhere. The moment you give them a place to stay, they are stuck with you. Yeah, think about this. So you've worked so hard, you've struggled so hard, prayed about it, fasted about it, saved up some money, bought your own place in a neighborhood that you love. You've lived there for so many years, right? And then you bring in a man who probably lied to you or told you, oh, I'm going to get my place in a few weeks' time. You know, some of them have their nice car. They have a good job, quote and unquote. They have a good everything credit score, like they tell you, right? But business is crashing. Nothing is working at this point in time. So unfortunately, they have to live with you. And then you find out that that business is never going to progress. That deal is not coming to fruition. He's not going to find a job. He told you he was going to help you to pay half of the bills, but the bills are being paid by yourself still. He doesn't pick up after himself. He doesn't clean up after himself. He doesn't help with the household chore because somehow you are living with him, right? Instead of the other way around. And now you want to get rid of him and he's like, I'll go next week. I'll go next 2 weeks and so on and so forth. I'm going to say this again. I know I've posted a video about this somewhere last year around the winter because that's the time that most guys do that, right? I'm going to say this again. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyways, a lot of people share their thoughts and opinions about the topic, so I'm going to get into that, and then I'm going to come back and talk some more. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's get into the video.
Ladies, we gotta stop dating guys who don't have their own houses. Like, that is something that at this age I refuse to do. If you don't got your own spot, no. And you cannot ever move in with me. If we decide that we want to take our relationship to the next level and we want to move in together, we gonna move in together into another space. I'm not moving in with you, and you not moving in with me. It's nice to have love, but don't play yourself. Just to have somebody up in your house to lay up with you, no. A man who's gonna come move in with you is a man who's taking advantage of you. Don't play yourself. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
You know, recently I heard one of my mutuals say that a man will live with a woman and expect to pay nothing, but when a woman lives with a man, he wants her to split the bills 50-50. And if that ain't the truth, like, some of these men think they can just live with you and just stay with you for absolutely nothing. So the only woman that's going to cook, clean, do your laundry, and take care of you is your mother. So why don't you take that duffel bag and head to her house? Now, truthfully, her first mistake was having you put that duffel bag down in her house without beforehand having a conversation with you about what your share of the utilities and the rent would be. The fact that you thought you could just lay up for free? Like, for what? Like, some of these men, they always talk about what women bring to the table. You're staying in her house, eating her food, running up her utilities for what? Like, what does she get out of that? Like, if the relationship isn't mutually beneficial, most of us don't want it. Some men associate themselves with women who have the nice things because they want access to those nice things. They want to be in those neighborhoods. They want to be in those communities, and they can't get there by themselves. So all of a sudden they fall in love with somebody like you. The last thing you want to do is be somebody's gateway to your lifestyle. Just like how Steve tried to tell Kiki, never let somebody fall in love with your lifestyle.
So what you can't give nobody your lifestyle.
Yeah.
He got to come in here with a lifestyle that you can put it together with.
Okay, quick story time. I didn't sell my home to get rid of husband number 2. But what I did do was drive his very drunk self to the ER, and I dropped him off. Then I went back, and thankfully my apartment lease was coming up, so I had planned this. And I packed up everything in like 24 hours, and I moved away.
Ladies, if you've never listened to somebody before, please listen to me now. If you've got a rocky relationship with your partner, yeah, and his living situation ain't looking too great, but you've got your own place, do not let a man live with you. When I tell you, you will end up crying. You will end up crying. And when I say that you will be paying all the bills same way. He will watch you like with his eyes. He will be watching you pay the bills and just be sitting there like a girl. You will be taking on 2 roles. Yeah, there's some homeless niggas out there, yeah, who are literally scouting for a home. So girls, don't do it. Don't do it. Send them to their parents' yard and see how well that goes. And if their parents don't even want them, hey, it's not your responsibility. I'm sorry.
Are selling their homes to get rid of.
This is what happens when women do not consider her options globally. This is what happens when women do not consider her options internationally. When you settle for the men at home, they know it, and they'll take advantage of it because you let them. Women in America have some very tough decisions to make. It's time to make the tough decision.
Well, let's just talk about the hobo wandering narcissist. Now, you have to understand that each narcissist is still unique in their own way. You do have some that are extremely impoverished. You do have those that are extremely wealthy. One thing that you can say about a narcissist, though, is what is theirs is theirs. They don't like to share it. So you do have those that are extremely wealthy and are responsible when it comes to paying their bills, having somewhere to stay, investments, automobiles, clothes. They live the lifestyle. They have the money to do it, and they're able to do it. That lets you know that when you say that a narcissist, they just don't know any better, they just can't do any better. No, the things that the narcissists do is choices, just like anybody else. They make choices. They just have a personality disorder. Well, some of them make very bad choices. They have problems, with people. And then you have those that just jump from house to house. And some of them actually have money. They actually have finance. They're perfectly capable of taking care of themselves. They're perfectly capable of paying bills. They just don't like that responsibility. Some of them may not have a lot of money. Some of them may be middle class. Some of them just have enough to sustain themselves. So that means they can get an apartment or a house, a nice car, nice clothes. They can live comfortable. But one thing that they don't want to do is they don't want to spend their own money. They prefer to spend yours. And so they will attach to someone. You look and you're looking at the papers and you're thinking to yourself, you're perfectly capable of doing fine by yourself. But that's not the problem. The problem is that I want to use what you got. I want to come and you take care of me, because there are some of them that don't have like all this money, but they live this pseudo wealthy lifestyle, which is not true. They have certain type of cars. They want to live a certain type of lifestyle. They want to go eat in certain places, but they're not able to do it off of their income alone. So what they do is they find a partner, or they find that supply that doesn't mind taking care of them, that doesn't mind, helping them so they can sustain the lifestyle and the image they have created. And if you look, a lot of times they'll even say, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be driving this type of car. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be living this type of lifestyle. And then when you actually go and check your own bank accounts and everything, and you begin to look and like, wait a minute, either we were making the same amount of money, or wait a minute, I was the one doing all this. So all the credit that this narcissist is getting really is based off of the money that they're spending from your account. But a lot of them will also jump from people to people to people, because their taste for expensive things gets bigger, and they don't want to spend their money. They want you to sustain so they can use their money to keep up the image. And so you have these hobo narcissists that jump from place to place. You have those that are very territorial. These are the narcissists that go from house to house to house, but they claim that territory as their own. So they'll come in and they'll dangle a carrot over your head saying that I will help you and I will help pay bills, but then they don't live up to that responsibility. They don't have any sense of accountability. They don't have any sense of responsibility. When they get into your home, they actually, what they really did, take territory. They take your territory. They come in and create their own rules. This is their space now. It's almost like you're living with them, but in actuality, they're living with you. And so when you tell them what the rules is and what's going to happen, or if you tell them to get out, they tell you they're not going nowhere. And then you have to be careful, because in certain states, the amount of time that they stay in your house, they actually become a tenant. And then you actually have to evict them. So like in the state of Washington, if you stay, I think it's 6 months. If you stay 6 months, you literally have to evict the person out of the home. You can't call the police and have them removed unless it's something really bad. So you have to be careful, because some of them understand this, and so they'll stay in there and they really become a squatter. And what happens is you can't get rid of them. You can't even lock them out the door, because they can take you to court then. And after the pandemic, some of the rules of evictions have changed. So they have to even, I think certain apartment complexes here, I was talking to someone, a realtor, but she was saying, or a property manager, and she was saying that now they have to give them an opportunity to pay on the rent, meaning that they may not pay the whole rent, but they have to pay on the rent. So you have to be careful, because some of these narcissists are aware of that. So when they get into their home, they claim their territory, and it literally becomes, it was almost like they take your space. They dominate your area. They create their own rules. They don't want to leave. And then they have you believing that you're actually living with them, that they're the ones doing all this. And if it wasn't for me, and don't let cognitive dissonance get to you, where you know the truth, but you're still struggling with the emotions. You know you're paying all the bills, and then when they buy you a little something, or buy a gallon of milk, or they do one thing, all of a sudden it becomes a matter of, look at all the stuff that I do. You can't put me out, or you need to get out and find yourself somewhere to stay. They'll find any kind of way to manipulate you to get you to change your mind, or they'll just tell you straight out, I'm not going nowhere. And some of them won't even work. They just sit at the house and do whatever they do. So this is the hobo wandering. I can keep going.
I know some women have the savior complex where they want to be the good girls. They want to help them out. Oh, it's okay. We are all grown folks. We are all adults. Unfortunately, some of these men, they don't grow up. They are stuck at 18. Okay. So while you are giving them the respect and thinking that they are going to get their shit together and get out of there, or even move you out of your own house to a better place, that never happens. And then now you have to sell up just to get rid of them. It's sad, but unfortunately, this is what is happening. So be very, very, very vigilant. Be careful. Do not let any man that does not have his own place to come and live in your house. Because you're a man, what else are you supposed to be doing with your life all these years? If a woman is able to do it, you should be able to do it too. Do not allow any guy to come and lie to you, because most of them have the cars. You will see them in these big cars, but they don't have a place to put their head. They'll rather invest in a car. They're like the doctor said, they'll have the job, they'll have the money, they'll have everything but the house. Why? Because when they go out there, they look like they have it, but they don't, because they know that looks are important. So they invest in their looks. They will look so good. They have the perfumes. They have everything that, kind of screams like tomorrow he's going to be sleeping in a 6-bedroom mansion. But that's not it. That's not the truth. This is all that there is to it. That's all part of the game. They move from place to place, and that's why they need a good working car. Because when you see them, they look put together. They have a nice car. They have clean clothes. You don't look at the boot of the car, so you don't know what is in the boot of the car, right? But you give them that respect. They go on multiple dates to scout women who are single, who have their own places, who have their ish together, who have the lifestyle that in their head they believe they deserve, or they believe is their lifestyle. Okay, so those are the kind of women that they target. All right, so don't become a victim to these men, because once they get stuck on you, they're not going anywhere. You will be living in your own house, and they will, in their head, they'll be thinking that you are living with them. Therefore, they will be demanding the free labor from you. You'll be paying all the bills. You'll be giving them sex. And then when you talk about them moving out, they're not going to go anywhere, right? And you're going to end up having to be forced to sell your house to get rid of them. Make that make sense. Don't let that girl be you. Yeah, don't be that girl for any guy, because a man at a certain age, at a certain point in time in his life, who hasn't got his shit together, he may say he got divorced and the wife took everything. He still has to have something going for himself. That is not going to be your responsibility in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. That's not your responsibility. All right, let him go and sort himself out. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.